Welcome back to What the Poop, the podcast where we dive into the messy, hilarious, and sometimes super awkward world of living with invisible illnesses. I'm your host, Teri Holland, an ulcerative colitis warrior who's been battling the ultimate colon challenge for over 3 decades. And today we're tackling one of the most infuriating, eyebrow raising comments that we have all heard at some point. But you don't look sick. Welcome to What the Poop, the podcast where we get real about life with ulcerative colitis. I'm your host, Teri Holland, and as someone who has lived with ulcerative colitis for over 3 decades, I know firsthand how unpredictable, exhausting, and isolating this journey can be. But I also know there's power in sharing our stories and supporting one another. So whether you're newly diagnosed or a seasoned UC warrior like me, we're here to laugh, learn, and tackle the tough stuff together. Let's dive into the realities of living with ulcerative colitis because no one should have to do it alone. I think that classic line is right up there with, have you tried yoga? Or maybe it's just stress. It's like the verbal equivalent of stepping on a piece of Lego. Painful, surprising, and leaves you wondering, did that really just happen? Now let's break this down. What does sick actually look like? Should I be walking around with a neon sign above my head flashing chronic illness, ulcerative colitis, poops blood above my head? Or maybe a t-shirt that says, warning, contents under pressure, may explode any time. I have thought about making a t-shirt that says, my tummy hurts, because there's a pretty good probability that at any given moment, my tummy hurts. You know, maybe it's because the only acceptable way to be ill is to look like a Victorian-era orphan. Pale, frail, clutching a handkerchief like you're auditioning for a Dickens novel. Is that what people expect? What does illness look like? My personal favorite response when someone says to me, you don't look sick, is I say, oh, why, thank you. That's because I wear my colon on the inside. And they never know how to respond to that. And think about it, you can use that for any illness. You can use that certainly for ulcerative colitis or Crohn's. You can use that for anything. Cancer, well, that's because my cancer's on the inside. What are they expecting? What do people expect when they say that phrase, but you don't look sick? And it kind of sounds like a compliment, doesn't it? Like, I'm grateful that I don't look sick. But that doesn't mean that I'm not. And that's where I think it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because while I don't look sick, my outsides don't match what's going on the inside on many days. I've even had doctors say this to me. Well, you look good, Teri. That's cool, but I don't feel good. I feel like a big pile of shit. But in all seriousness, those of us who are living with invisible illnesses like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, fibromyalgia, or any condition that doesn't scream, I'm sick, from across the room. You know the struggle that I'm talking about. It's like being in a secret club, except there's no cool handshake, and just a lot of running to the bathroom and doctor's visits. And those doctor visits get really annoying, don't they? They always seem to come at the worst times in life. There are a million things I would rather be doing on any given day than go to yet another appointment, go for another test, or another colonoscopy. I mean, I would rather do anything in the world than go for another colonoscopy. And this club that we're in isn't exclusive. It's more like that awkward high school reunion where everyone shows up with some weird ailment, but no one talks about it. So what do we do when someone drops the "but you don't look sick" bomb? Well, first, resist the urge to roll your eyes so hard that you get a headache. I mean, roll them a little bit, but just be cautious that you don't roll them back so hard that it actually hurts. So I already shared with you my favorite response. I wear my colon on the inside. But you could also try something like, well, I didn't realize I was auditioning for the role of sick person number 1 today. I'll try to look more miserable next time. Or if you're in a sassier mood, maybe try something like, thank you. I have been working on my not sick look for years. It's called survival. Now, we all know that living with an invisible illness is about so much more than just appearances. We have to manage our symptoms, navigate treatments, maintain some semblance of normalcy in our lives to stop us from going completely out of our minds. But no, we don't need to look like we're on the brink of collapse to prove that we're struggling. Remember this, you don't owe anyone an explanation, a performance, or an apology for not fitting into their ideal of what sick should look like. Your experience is valid, whether you're dressed to the nines or you're in your comfiest sweatpants that day. And for all of you who've been on the receiving end of this lovely phrase, maybe next time you could even try just smiling and saying, but you don't look rude. Because honestly, what the poop? Thanks for joining me for this episode of What the Poop. Keep living your best life, even if some days are just meant for lying in bed and watching Netflix. You are not alone in this. Even if it feels like you're the only one sneaking out of a meeting for that emergency bathroom break. I would love to hear from you. What are your favorite cringy things that people say to you when it comes to living with chronic illness, invisible illness, ulcerative colitis, you name it? What are some of the phrases that you just wish people wouldn't say? I'm compiling a list, so send me your phrases. You can send them to me at my email. I'll put it in the show notes. You can send it to me on social media. I'll put my link in the show notes. And I just started a brand new Instagram account just for this show that I will also link in the show notes. So you can reach out to me in any of those places and let me know what is on your list of phrases people should not say to people who are living with chronic illness, invisible illness, ulcerative colitis, inflammatory bowel disease, you name it. I want to hear them. Thanks for joining me today for another episode of What the Poop. Remember, hit that subscribe button, share this with a friend, and please leave your 5-star reviews so that this podcast gets out to the right people who need a show like this. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week. Bye for now, friends.